Welcome, everybody. For a lot of you Asian guys and a lot of you beautiful black
ebony women
that went out there and made a huge commotion about the video that I made about the great
about
things
dating an Asian,
about
black,
dating an
Arabian, and all that
Asian,
great
black.
stuff. I decided to get together, thanks to Mrs. Tomi, to do a video series where it's all beautiful black women getting together and we're breaking down the great things about dating all these different races and questions that we have, in dealing with Asian guys. So we're going to kick it off with Asian guys, and then as we progress, we're going to talk about all different nationalities and races. So I wanted to let all of you guys see all of my beautiful, sexy delectables of chocolates in the room. Of course, as you guys know, I am Miss PATU LOCA, and you guys are watching the Get Inside Me, where we're getting inside, let's keep it real, the sexy Asian guys. And I'm talking about from all over the world. Now, as all of us black women, we can't wait to dig in, and there's a lot of questions that you guys did submit, so I thank you guys so much. So how I'm going to kick it off is I wanted to first make sure a lot of you guys, because of the main question I get a lot when it comes to Asian guys from overseas, their thing is based off of stereotypes when it comes to black women. They just assume every black woman is the same, what they see on television or on these hip-hop videos and stuff like that. So I want to start off by letting everyone know my parents are Fobs. They straight off the boat. Well, my dad came off the boat. My mom came off a plane to America. And not only that, I'm college educated, and as you guys know, I do hear broadcasting each and every Sundays at 4 o'clock Eastern Time on Google+, and that's not including me doing my 2 different shows on the SCBN network on Roku TV. So if you have Roku TV, just go in your search box at SCBN, and you'll catch the Get Inside Me and International Vibes, which is music from all over the world. But let's skip me. Now, who is the next chocolate that wants to say where you're from and everything about yourself, so that way we can let them know that black women come from all different types of cracks and crannies. And like they say, once you go black, you never go back. Who's first?
I'll go. I'm sorry. Ariel, I am from what?
Oh, no.
I can't hear anything.
Well, no,
okay, I'm Ariel. I am from Dallas, Texas, and I'm an entrepreneur business owner. I am 24 years old, a Moorish American. And I am on here because I enjoy being on the panel, and I hope I can answer everyone's questions.
Next.
Hi.
We talk about Asian guys. We was just talking about them all crazy before we got on air. Tomi?
My name's Tomi. I'm a recent college graduate. I'm 26 years old. I like Asian guys, and I like talking about them because I want to answer any questions or anything negative that they think are about black women and correct them and say that this is not what all black women are about.
And your nationality?
My nationality is Nigerian and Italian. My parents came from off of a plane, but I do identify with Nigerian since I grew up in that culture, and I'm from New Jersey.
And Miss Markeisha. Markeisha? Oh, I'm sorry, she's paused. Chris?
Hey. My name is Chris. I live in Philly. I work at a law firm in Philadelphia. And, I don't know. Oh, I'm 100% black. Nice and simple.
Oh, and before you go any further, Markeisha, there was this person that sent me a message saying that they really love your video where you were speaking a language and you sounded so much like an Asian person when you did it. That video you did.
Okay, that's cute. I guess I'll go next, right?
Yeah.
My name is Markeisha.
Okay, well,
okay. I'll go next.
Offset.
My name's Aset. I'm from California, an artist slash entrepreneur, and I'm here because I want to squash all the stereotypes there is about black women and Asian men. Plus, they delicious. Just say it.
And what is your nationality?
African American with some Creole and Indian in my grandparents, but yeah.
Now we have Markeisha again.
I'm sorry, you guys. The phone thing is just killing me right now, but I'm at work, so got to do what we got to do. Markeisha, I'm 36 years old. For all intents and purposes, I'm just a light-skinned black girl, so I'm the lighter end of the chocolate. Let me see. I have 3 degrees. I teach cosmetology, and I'm also a cosmetology instructor part-time, and I style. But I have a degree in human services and psychology. But I like making people feel beautiful on the inside as well on the outside, and I feel like I do better in the chair doing the counseling than in an office. So it's more fun for me. I get paid to play. As far as Asian men go, I love men, period. But Asian men do have a little special place in my heart. Um, it is just more because of the family bonds. I think the family man, the family dynamic, the cultural blend for family is just very strong for me. So that's what kind of attracts me to them more than anything.
But that was. I like the part with the whole special in the heart. I should have said that. That should have been my line.
Right?
I mean, for that, we gonna get into some good questions, but let's go
Okay.
down to the baby series. You ready? Baby, we're talking about you.
Say again.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it my turn?
Oh yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Shaquan. I'm from Georgia. I work for a law firm in Savannah, dealing with crashes and things like that. I'm in school. I'm planning on getting a degree in English and teaching, so that's one of my favorite things. I'm 18. I'm here because I've dated Asian men, and I really want to give an insight into the fact how black women and Asian men can be a dynamic couple no matter what anybody thinks.
Now that we then broke it down to all of this, and the reason I did this is because this is like one of the main questions I get from Asian guys when it's dealing with black women. They always want to know, when I tell them, like, do you know black women do so much than hip hop videos and what, because for a lot of these shows and programs that they watch overseas, they looking at, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, George Jefferson, old stuff, and it's like, we done come a long way,
A
okay?
long way.
So
Exactly.
the first question was someone anonymous, and please feel free to jump in at any point. First question was, why are black women and Asian men widely considered, if not objectively, unattractive? To me, what I'm going to say to that is they just hate us. If I was a man and I saw a fine, sexy, eye-slanted Asian guy looking good with a six-pack singing and looking like Rain doing rolls, I'd hate too. I would say any and everything under the sun just to make sure nobody would take them and nobody want them. And the first thing they did was they're going to throw shade and say that those men don't have any packages. If that was the case, I wouldn't be in the suitcase with them, because if they were small, and like I said in other videos, I've only, out of all the Asian guys I've dated, and I've dated quite a few, only one had a sausage. But the rest, they had that warrior kingdom sword swinging around the kingdom and everything, feeling proud, doing a clap for your man. People trying to say that Asian guys got small, they don't lie. And not every black man has a big one. But yes, I'm a
Thank
chocolate
you.
sister, and I am from the Mandingo kingdom, because I'm the princess. Since I always hear a lot of guys from other nationalities saying, "Oh, I would love to date a black girl," but black girls date black guys, and black guys have big stuff. So, they may not be. And I'm like, there's some brothers that's missing too. So, what are you guys? What would you guys like to say on that question?
I don't understand the whole unattractiveness part about it. That is complete bull to me, because okay, you can't say that a specific race is unattractive, because there are people in almost every race that are unattractive. So the fact that that you would specifically point out Asian and Black doesn't make any sense, because there are very beautiful Black women and there are very sexy Asian men, and it should not just be limited because they're Asian or they're Black. I don't even understand how that could have even contributed into the attractiveness.
Which I totally agree. To me, it's just so crazy because at the end of the day, a man, no matter where you come from, at the end of the day, you like what you like. Whatever you're attracted to, you're attracted to. And from my personal experience from having conversations from men, you know, especially doing Google for so many years and doing television stuff, I've talked to men all over the world, especially when you do Google. And as you guys know, when you do these hangouts, you meet people from, you know, Lebanon to Egypt to Korea, everywhere. But their main concern when it comes to that type of situation is that they assume that every Black woman wouldn't be interested. And it's like, no, I don't know where to get it from. There are women that do find Asian guys attractive. Now, the next question I had for you guys that I got from someone was, personally speaking, do Asian men actually date Black women? Yes, they do.
Yes.
You saw Marquisha like, Marquisha speak.
Yes. Wouldn't be here if they didn't.
I mean, I dated a Chinese guy, and I'm telling you, he was born and raised in China as, you know, to a certain age, and continued living his life in London and stuff. He had a sexy British accent. But the thing about him was, he even told me, I'm a diabetic. So as a diabetic, when my sugar get low, I need some chocolate to put it up. So I only deal with chocolate. And he said that. So that's like, to me, when I hear people like, oh, and when especially on my videos, when I have other Asian guys like, oh no, Asian guys are not into Black girls, you guys are just thinking that. Don't play yourself. All you have to, as Black women, especially Black women, they're like, oh, how can I find an Asian guy? You not go like you going to dress to the club, but you put on your Sunday's best. You go strolling down little Chinatown in your city and town, and I'm telling you right there, even if they don't speak English, they're going to find some kind of way to let you know, even if it's sign language, even if they're having a seizure on the side of the road. Yo, you hot, and I want to talk to you. What do you guys think about that question that person just asked? Do Asian guys even date Black girls?
Oh, definitely. I knew a guy who was raised in China since he was 16, and then he moved to the States to go to school. But I met him a couple of years ago, and he lives in Austin, Texas. I live in Dallas. We are 4 hours apart. He drove 4 hours just to go on one date with me, and then drove 4 hours back after the date. You know, like he was determined. He's like, I'm gonna go on a date with you, because you know. So I mean, I've gone on dates with Asian guys since then, but honestly, men like women, you know, and most of the time it doesn't matter what color, you know, she is, but they like the flavor that we give. They say they like our attitude, so I'll give it to them. The attitude, nothing else.
Anyone else wants to speak on this?
Sure. I want to say that Asian men do date Black women. I remember talking to this guy who was from Mongolia, and I've never talked to a Mongolian before, so it was kind of like different. And he was like, you know, he lives in New York, and he goes like, I love Black women. And I was like, what, you don't like Mongolian women? He was like, no, they're boring. And he's like, Black women, there's always something different about them. And to say that, like, you know, like just because I'm Asian and just because you're Black doesn't mean we can't have anything. And he was like, we're like the best two races to put together because we make beautiful babies and we're exotic looking. So you can't beat that. And that's true. And I definitely agree with that. So I mean, Asian men do date Black women, because out of the blue, I had this Korean guy just hit me up and say, oh, you're really beautiful. And I'm like, oh, thanks. So it's like, you know, I feel like they're appreciating Black women more because the interest is there. Because if it's not there, then why should they show interest? But it's there to the point where like they're like, okay, I can dig this. She likes Asian men, so I'll give her a chance.
Now, the next question I have comes from someone by the name of Ming Chow.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Girl, Chris. I'm showing you guys better die. I'm trying to cover everything. Them Asian guys know. Chocolate?
No, I was just gonna say, Asian guys definitely. Asian guys definitely date black women. Like I said, I'm 100% black. My aunt, she's black. She's married to a Korean man, so my uncle's Korean. So, I mean, it definitely happens. I've dated plenty of Asian guys before. But I will say, out of all the mixed race couples that you see, it is the least likely seen match. Like, it's the least match that I ever see when you see, interracial couples or whatever. So maybe that's why people think that the two just don't mix, because they don't see it as often as they see, other races.
You know what, Chris, I'm very glad you brought up that point. The question that I want to ask to everyone in the group is, even though, just like that person's first question said, that they make it seem like black women and Asian guys are the least desirable, and that we've seen a lot of people go on CNN and all different types of debates having conversations on, if they're the least desirable, why are they not even getting together, or they should get together? And I've even shared a situation where I saw a study, I don't know which night show, I don't know if it was 2020 or one of those, where they showed this Asian guy who owns a corporation that helps Asian men find women outside of Asian women, particularly black women, letting them know, like, because they're the least desirable, you're going to get what you want, and at least you're going to be married, you're going to be happy, you're going to have, it's different in culture, but it's you got something. So the fact that we're the least desirable of what they say, especially when it comes into America, why do you think that it seems like it's very rare? It's a rare to find Asian guys approaching black women.
Because of the stereotypes. They're masculine, we're mean,
we're angry.
All the things from the media is the reason why, basically. Honestly, you can blame TV. Bottom line.
But see, to me, I kind of feel with the television and everything, and I'm saying to all of you guys who are watching this, whether this is about A and BW, like Asian men and black women or whatever, you cannot allow what society puts out about a certain race, gender, culture, religion, whatever, to dictate what is actually happening. Because at the end of the day, they're just generalizing and making up stuff. So the only thing and only way you can know is if you take the time out to educate yourself and putting yourself out there to really find out. You cannot just assume every black woman has a fat booty, shaking it at the club with a G-string and
Because that's totally not true.
No, because as you can see, we're here, all of us black women, all of us educated, doing our own thing and doing it good. And so the thing that I'm most proud of, especially as a black woman, is that I'm so happy that all of you guys were able to join me in this group to be able to show them, because I always have, when I do videos about AMBW, I always find a lot of Asian guys when they do hit me up, they're like, oh, okay, well, that's just you. And I'm like, it's not a me thing. I'm not the only girl that finds Asian guys attractive. There's an array of women that finds you guys so sexy. And it's not about just wanting to, I just got to have an Asian guy, because you do got some thirsty girls out there. We're going to address that later on. But you do have women that just genuinely find you attractive. Just like any guy or any woman sees somebody, I find you attractive. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you thirsty because you find features in someone attractive. Now, to me personally, I personally feel like as a black woman, whether if you're from the West Indies, all over the world, or even American, because we're more able to speak what's on our mind, we're not, sheltered. Whether you're half Latino or whatever, you're just more open to speak. And in the culture, for a lot of you guys who do know, Asian guys are more, keep to themselves, more reserved and quiet. And I'm saying, like, if you're trying to really land a black woman, and we're going to get into that conversation right now, If you're trying to land a black woman, my best advice into getting a black woman is if you think being mute means you're going to be cute, let me tell you something. Closed mouth don't get fed. So if you are interested in a woman, I don't care whether she's black or not, you have to open your mouth and start a dialogue. May it be, hello, my name is, how are you like to go out? That's my best advice for Asian guys, because that's the next question that I was going to say that this Asian guy posted. How can an Asian guy approach a black woman and not be turned down? Rejection is part of the process, but you cannot go wrong with throwing a compliment, saying your name, or the weather. Hey, my name is Cole, and I just think, I love your hair. How are you doing? What's the weather? Whatever. You throw her a lot of questions, especially when you're looking good. There's no woman, I don't care what her nationality, race, or whatever, is going to say no. So what are you guys' advice on the best way for an Asian guy to approach a black woman?
Just approach her like
I
anyone.
agree with starting with a compliment. I agree with a compliment. Just don't do the whole hair petting thing. Definitely don't be like, "Can I touch your hair?" You know what I'm saying? Don't compare us to animals. Come on, because I've had it happen before. But I mean, you could always compliment. Definitely just walk up with a great smile. It usually works. And it really just depends on the setting. Like, do I really want some random guy walking up to me while I'm about to go into a movie, about to watch it by myself? No, but if I was out with my friends at a restaurant and he came over, that would be something else, you know?
What are you smoking? Let me tell you something, girl. Me and my sister went out, okay? And when we got to the movies, because, yeah, for me and my sisters, because my mom has 5 kids, and me and my 3 sisters are the only ones left that are not married and not dating. So for us, we date each other. So when we go into movies and guys see us, if the guys are respectful and say, hey, you're watching that movie, do you mind if we sit with you guys? We'll get the popcorn, and we'll be like, we'll get the drinks. Bam. So,
well, see, that works for you, but there's 10 of us. So it'll be kind of weird. I have 4 sisters, and I have 6 brothers. So, usually when we go to a movie, it's a movie that everybody wants to see, so they're coming with me. So if there was a guy to approach me, he'd get so much crap, so I'm giving them a warning. Please don't, for your safety, so you don't get grilled the first second you meet. It's like that. That's why there's so many of, siblings that I have.
Okay.
Which is why I think it's so hard to approach me personally.
I think you just approach a black girl like any other woman. I think it's just hard for some guys, period, to approach girls, period. I don't think it's like, how do I approach a black girl? How do I approach a white girl? Like, that's just weird. Like, how do you approach a woman? I don't know. Just start by being yourself. And for me personally, like, humor is always good. If you can make someone smile or laugh, like, that's always a good icebreaker. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I definitely agree with what Chris said, because, like, I feel like that they treat us like we're like a different entity when we're like the same person, but not race-wise. We're all human beings. Like she said, just approach us and say, oh, hi. If you just, for me personally, I'm simple. If you say, hi, how are you? I'll reply back. But if that's all you're going to say, then what's the point of me even just like having a conversation if you only know how to say hi but don't continue from then on? I want you to, if you say something that's like corny or something, I'll laugh because I'm just simple like that. But I just like, just approach us like as you would approach any other girl. Don't assume that we're going to have an attitude, because any girl can have an attitude regardless of race. Just approach us with an open mind and saying, hi, how you're doing, and then let's see where it goes from there. That's all.
I think the reason why they have a problem with approaching women, period, especially women of color, is because there's so many different, videos out and columns online about it's kind of vice versa, because black women do the same thing. Oh, how do I get an Asian guy? How do I approach an Asian guy? What do I say? How do I say this in their language? And so maybe they're thinking, okay, so they're wondering how to approach us. How the hell do we approach them? You know what I'm saying? So it could be because of all the different columns and stuff about women asking, how do I approach an Asian guy? Like, they're different species. You know, there's even about which Asian is right for you. Like, it's weird, and I don't agree with it. I definitely agree that we're women. I don't know how to approach a woman because I don't approach women. I approach dudes, you know. But for me personally, I like guys that make me laugh. So, like you said, humor is always good.
Yeah, like I said, it works both ways. Like you said, for the black girls, like that's just as weird. How do I approach an Asian guy? Like that sounds ridiculous. Like, it's a guy.
Yeah.
Like, you either know how to talk to a guy or you don't. You either know how to talk to another person or you don't. How about you just start with step one? How to say hello to people.
Yeah, how to introduce yourself properly.
There's this video, and I'm trying to upload it quick on my phone to see. But there was this video I saw last night. Oh, thank you. So I'm going to find out what their name is. I don't know if they're a couple or not. But it's basically, it's an Asian guy and a black girl. They go out, but she's recording. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to basically show guys, especially Asian guys, it's not hard. Black girls are not as hard and rough and whatever you guys would assume that would be when you approach one. And in the video, come on, please show me that guy because I need to find his name so I can be able to. In the video, basically, he just did like we said. He approached the girls and was like, he went everywhere from outdoors to a mall to a food truck. Any black woman, he was like, hey, my name is this. I would like to cook for you. I would like to take you out. And every woman pulled out her phone. If she didn't pull out her phone, she'd say, I have a man, but if I didn't have no man, if I'm single, I'll hit you up. So it's like, it's that simple. And I'm glad that you said what you said, Tommy, because at the end of the day, and Chris, we're all women. Women is women. We all got the same boobs. Well, not the same sizes, but the same boobs, booty, and clit. So don't worry about it. All you have to do is say, hey, or say, hello, my name is, and even though you might see in these little hip-hop videos or whatever, you guys assume that because the dude has a way about saying, hey, with the fat booty, whatever. Black women don't need that, because I also had this girl that stated a question, and she sent me a video where this Japanese guy came over and was like, you know, trying to do a video based off of what he assumed black women would want, because he was going by how he saw how black men holler, which means hit on black women. And in my mind, I'm like, if at any point I don't know where he thought that would have made sense, but you just can't approach a black woman in a racist manner, and that was racist. And even though he was fine, that was racist. Even though he may have not understood that, but it was racist, because yo, with your fat booty, ass so fat, I need a lap dance.
Did he say that?
You don't do that.
I think depending on what type of mood I'm in.
That right there is a surefire way to see a black woman being stereotypical. Because I'll be like, excuse me, don't come at me like that. That's how you would get the stereotypical black woman.
Girl, I don't have a booty, so I wouldn't even think he was talking to me.
Okay, so the video I was just talking about, well, the first video I was talking about it's from this person called Incredible Bold TV, and it's called Asian Guys versus Black Women. So when you guys check out that video, and I'm gonna put the link in the description box down below, so you guys will see what I'm talking about. He didn't even
seen that video.
Yeah, he just approached the women. Hey, how are you doing?
Yeah, I appreciated it because he showed that we're just women. We're like every other nationality and race. If you come to us with a hi, how you're doing, and a well thought out conversation, we're very receptive. It's very simple. We're not some weird species where you need some secret bait that you got to get from a voodoo shop. It's not that difficult.
Now, the next question I've gotten is, how or why are you attracted to Asian men? I could personally say that for my
because I'm attracted to men.
Well, yeah, I'm attracted to all guys, you know, but personally speaking, it all started in Brooklyn. I was a little girl with my little kicks, doing my little thing back in the day when Osh Bagosh and Kids was big. So I'm that old, yeah. And he done helped me because back when you were in school, you used to have your little cubby box that you would put your little shoes and jacket. So, you know, at the end of the class, and he would run over to that little box, help me take off my shoes and my jacket and roll it up the way he would do his and put it together. And his parents were so sweet and so nice to my parents. They got along. And ever since then, it was his eyes. And I just fell in love with that man. And ever since then, I've been in some Bruce Leroy fantasy with Asian guys. And you guys?
I think it's a hard question for people because I think a lot of people don't know how to put that into words, like why you like anyone. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of hard.
That's like asking me, why do I like jelly? Because it's good. I mean, I like jelly. Just like, I don't know how I have to put it because it's purple sometimes. I mean, I like men, and Asian men, you know, fit in that category. If you're sweet, if, you know, you make me laugh, if I have a good time with you, I'm going to like you. I don't see race or color, so to ask me why I like Asian men, like Chris said, it's hard for me to answer.
You know, it's not hard for me to answer because, in all honesty, I grew up in such a broad household where I remember the first time my uncle married a Korean, not my uncle, my cousin, who was like a big-time boxer in Canada, married him a Korean woman. And mind you, he was on tour, went to Korea. When he saw her, he fell in love, got married, and snatched up. Her parents were not all that into it, but when they found out what he did, how much money, bank he made, they was like, okay, you can take her. She's good. They had some gorgeous babies together and everything like that. But to me, the main thing that I find so attractive, even when I was a little girl, about Asian guys, is their eyes. Even if he was a liar, I would just look at him in his eyes and he just captured me with the eyes. And I remember growing up, when I would have my Asian friends living in the suburbs and stuff, I would always hear them say, when I would say like the best thing about them, what I love about their eyes, back then, I don't know how it is now, but back then, a lot of the Asian people that I knew growing up and going to school and stuff, they hated their eyes because they felt like it was just too slanted, it was this and that. They didn't like their eyes. And I'm like, let me tell you something. If I could have surgery to have my eyes as slanted as you guys, I would, because their eyes to me, that guy could be no teeth and like butt ugly. And if they were doing it like, you know, the Middle Easterns, how they just had that cloth block everything and all you had was eyes, but you knew was a man inside, I would go for a straight eye shot because I love their face, their eyes, and them Korean boys with the big lips. And just stop. Y'all continue. Just stop. Because I already did this on my video of the great things about dating an Asian guy. Y'all continue. Tommy? Thank you, Tommy.
Oh my gosh. I like Asian guys. I think like mine was from a crush. That's what that is. And at that time I was probably in middle school and I was getting bullied. And he was like the only person who stood up for me or, you know, was there for me like when I was crying and stuff. So, you know, and we, you know, maintained a friendship through that. And then ever since then I was like, wow, he's so cute. And then every Asian guy after that just has been a part of my attraction. And then also their culture is a lot like similar to that of African culture. So it's like, I could relate to him, and that's about it. Like, it just started off as a crush, so ever since then it's just like, okay, I like Asian guys.
Chris? Even though Chris, I have to put out because somebody just sent me a message saying you look straight Asian, especially in your video. They assumed that you were Asian because of that video you did when you were speaking language and stuff. So, sorry. Yeah, 808 Bobby wanted to say you're hot and you look like a hot, sexy Asian girl. So I just wanted to say, so he knows that I said that. Okay.
Well, I'm black. But thank you. Why do I like you guys? I don't know. Like I said, okay. I like all guys. And, of course, you know, personality and all these things are most important, but if you want to talk about physical attraction, for some reason, yeah, I do tend to be physically attracted to Asian guys a lot. You know what I mean? But I mean, I like all guys. Not one thing in particular, not like just their eyes. And, I don't know, things that I complexion, or hair, or whatever. I don't know. I guess it's just.
So basically, she's saying it's like the whole Asian package. It's like the whole.
Yeah, you don't know why you're attracted to certain things. Just like some people like super chocolate guys. Like, I don't know why. You know what I mean? You don't know why. You just do.
Right.
I have no idea.
Next, baby. I'm sorry. I know because I know for you. I know you like because you stopped calling me baby, but I just because you're so young and you look like a baby. I just have to call you baby because you are the youngest in the crew. So we're So what do you think? Why is it that you find Asian guys attractive, and why do you like them? How did you get into it?
Okay. That I've been into it since I was really, really like elementary, close to middle school sometime. Cause the guy I had a crush on at that time, he was Vietnamese, and his family owned a lot of the Vietnamese restaurants that were inside of town. And he was so nice, so sweet to me. And the neighborhood that I lived in, and the times that I was in, and the town that I was in, yeah, people weren't so nice to each other. It wasn't that just wasn't how it was. He was nice. He would actually make food and bring it to me because I guess his mom was teaching him how to cook at the time. And I can't remember specifically what he said, but he said something so sweet to me. And ever since then, I was like head over heels in love with him. And from there, that kind of set a precedent for me dating other guys down the road. It was kind of like, oh my gosh, I like him. And then I guess when he moved off, I was just like, well. And I tried to, like date like maybe different people. I do date other races, but it was just ever since then, that being my first love, that was just my preference.
You used the big word. He was like, that my first love.
You know what's funny? I think that, listening to everyone else saying, they're relating it to some relationship, and I think that's a big part of it for a lot of people too, despite like whatever race that you like. I think you stem back to your favorite relationship or whatever that person was that you really just had that super special place in your heart. So it seems like with you guys, those favorite relationships seem to be that Asian guy or whatever, so that just stays with you. Or maybe that's a part of the attraction as well, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Oh, I mean, it's different for me because my favorite relationship was a European guy.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Okay, well, I don't know. I was just basing it off of what I heard. But one of my favorite relationships was a guy as well, so I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, because, my relationships with the Asians that I've dated have been so short that, it's just so sporadic. It'll be like, okay, we date for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. And then, something happens to where I get really busy and I don't have time, or they don't have time, and we kind of lose connection. Where, I've dated Europeans on and off for years, and I've had longer relationships with them. So I can't really relate a relationship, like a romantic relationship, back to why I like Asians, because I haven't really had one for very long.
One of the next question I have is, why don't Asian men, from your personal thoughts and opinions, don't ask women out?
They don't like rejection?
I personally believe because of their culture, they're more quiet, subdued, and timid. And then the language barrier. I do know that whether you're Asian or not, like even like when I was picking up English I'm American born citizen, but my parents are from overseas, so I didn't grow up speaking English. I learned that in high school. But one thing I can say is when you're not confident in your language, especially in the country that you're in, you tend to just nod your head and not really talk too much. So that's the only reason I can find that based off of this question. So what do you guys think?
I can see why you're not wanting to say the wrong thing. You might want to be like, "Hi, how are you?" instead of saying your mom's a fat cow. It could come out wrong, and so instead of saying the wrong thing, it's probably better to say nothing at all in a lot of instances. But that's why, for me, I took what you're saying, Patu. I took it upon myself to go ahead and try to learn different languages, so I can connect with more people across the globe. And one of those languages were Korean. So, guys, just so you know, I speak it. Don't be afraid.
See, for me, like I've said in other videos, I've dated all different type of nationalities when it dealt with Asian guys. Koreans, those are the only ones. Those are the only ones that I've actually, because of language barrier, it didn't go past or didn't go anything else because the language barrier was hard. So that was the only thing, personally. But like, the next question, did you guys want to make any comments to the last question? The next question I had was from this girl. She happens to be Asian, and she was personally saying, based off of your experience as a black woman, if you were to break it down with nationality when it comes to Asian men, who do you find more attractive, or who do you find that is more outspoken, not shy, not the typical Asian stereotype?
I think Filipinos are not shy. I feel like they're more approachable, like towards black women, like in my case. But I don't know about any other and Chinese, Filipino and then Chinese. It depends on where they're from. It just depends if they were born in China or they were born here.
From my personal experience, I can honestly say guys that...
In my experience, it's Vietnamese.
From my personal experience, I can honestly say from all the guys that had some thug in them, like, hey, I don't care, like, you thick and I like it, and wasn't even scared, because when Asian guys either come tall and thin or just short and thin. It's very rare to find one that's thick. So when a guy try to holler at me, I'm like, dude, I'm juicy. Like, I don't know if you can, like, I got meat, So all the guys, I can honestly say the ones that are not shy are Chinese guys from, just like you were saying, Philippines, guys from Thailand, and that I could say would be, I'm forgetting one more country. But out of
the Vietnamese are not shy at all. They're very approachable.
Yes, Vietnamese. They're more bold, especially when they get accustomed to the culture and they understand enough to say, yo, I can step outside now and say how I feel about something or speak on how I feel about anything. But what do you guys think? Because what do you guys think about that question? You guys are so quiet.
I don't know. Like, I've only ever really dated Chinese guys and Chinese guys and Korean guys. So
I mean,
and most of the guys that I met were like while I was in school, So I didn't have problems like language barriers and like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have. I don't know. I don't know.
That one that's mostly Vietnamese, it's like a huge community. So, I come in contact with a lot of Vietnamese guys. I mean, literally, they have like mopeds and they have like these little groups. They have like a club right up the street and it's like all Vietnamese. And they ride their moped. And they seriously, I got stopped by one and he was like, so I just need to tell you something. I just got to stop. He's like, I just had to stop you from walking real quick because I just need to let you know that I just need to know how you get your skin is so beautiful. I was like, oh, thank you. Hey, sorry. So he's like, oh my God, can I get your number? Is there any way that we could talk again? Because he's like, there's no way I can ride by and just like let this moment pass. So I'm like, you know what? You got game, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, you said the right thing to me. Yes, we can, his family happened to own the shop on the next street. So, now we're good friends because he's just so funny. But I think Vietnamese, they're just like really easier. They're easier to approach, and I'm not sure why that is. But and they're hot. It's just, I mean, I'm sure baby girl over there would agree with me since that's the ethnicity of her boyfriend currently.
Definitely, yes.
One thing the next question I wanted to say was that this girl posted. She wanted to know, when it comes to AMBW, why is it that it seems like a lot of women are into Korean guys, and why is it that the Korean guys who are into black women or are open to it are too shy?
Oh, I love that you asked that question.
Okay.
Because I think the reason why it's only Korean guys is because of K-pop. That's what that is. And I feel like if K-pop wasn't so prominent, then it would probably be like, oh, I only like Chinese guys, oh, I only like Filipino guys, or I only like Vietnamese guys. But since K-pop is so prominent and they want a man that is from Korea, like a lot of them say, oh no, I don't only like Koreans. And I'm like, you only like Koreans, that's all you talk about is K-pop. And then when the man that you're trying to approach is Korean, you have this big like fake reality that like this guy is gonna be like a K-pop artist, and that shouldn't be the case. Like from what I know, most guys said that they dislike it when girls compare them to K-pop artists because that they are not a K-pop artist. Their side that are not in the entertainment industry. So I feel like it's just because they are in because of K-pop. I feel like if K-pop wasn't so big, that it would be a different story.
Personally,
yeah, I can agree with that.
Personally speaking, like, because when I grew up around like all over, U.S. and stuff like that. When it came to Asian people, I forgot all about Koreans. The only way I remember Koreans even existed was because of the AMBW and because of at the time she was 2 years old, my niece, Bella. Like she had like a Korean theme party. She actually sung the Korean happy birthday song. Like she is so obsessed with Koreans, it's not even funny. And mind you, she's have Haitian, Mexican, and Cuban, and she's just so obsessed with everything Korean. But she's 4 now. But like when I forgot all about Koreans because growing up, I forgot. Majority of my experiences was with other Asians, very little Korean, very little. So it's not until I joined ABW, and for a lot of you guys who may not know what ABW is because I didn't know at the time, until I moved here because my sister and all, as you guys know, last week when we was hanging out, AMBW stands for Asian Men and Black Women, or BWAM, basically Black Women, Asian Men that are attracted, find each other, to that point and that degree to take it to that level. But, hey, Markeisha, you back.
Hi, I'm back. Sorry, had the technical difficulties.
What was so interesting about the whole situation was when I got into the group, a lot of the guys that are in the AMBW, even if they're you have more percentage of Korean guys than any other guy in a lot of these AMBW groups. So for me, I'm like, dang, I forgot about the Korean guys existed because, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not until I saw Rain with that body roll and all his glory. If I was that woman laying on that bed while he was trying to reminisce as a ghost and rolling, do you know how many cuts that would have to take place? Do you know how many part 1 to 29 they would have to show the behind the scenes of how I can keep my hands off of him? Like, there ain't no way he gonna do all them, boys to men body roll on me and I'm not gonna react. I would have forgot my role and got all over that. But that's just a sidebar, and that was just a moment when I saw that. Because my niece, she's a huge K-pop fan, and I want to give a shout out to my niece Bella. But when my sister Lashana, and she was the one in Chi-Town that used to attract all varieties of Asian guys, and so we moved to Florida, so it's rare. When she met all those different varieties of when I saw, not variety, when I saw Rain doing his body work, I fell in love, and I ain't never came back. So Y'all speak. Come on, let's right.
I mean, it's more than K-pop. There's also like the K-drama, and for some reason, women think that all Korean men own hotels or some restaurant, and they're gonna come save you from your situation, and they're gonna whisk you off your feet, and they're gonna have all these services. That's also a problem where people are like, oh my God, I just need to be with an Asian guy because he owns this hotel, and it's a show. No one's gonna come save you. Not the Asian guy who owns a restaurant because he's probably dating someone else who owns a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? So for me, women have to, and that's just not Moorish women. It's women have to learn how to separate the show boyfriend from the real life boyfriend. It's just like they went into a movie and they watched this really romantic Asian guy, and now they think all Asians should be that romantic or do all those grand gestures that the guy did in, the movie or the show, and it's just not the case. These are real life men, just like any other guy in any other race, So, I mean, you should treat them as such. Take them off the pedestal, and they won't be so, because a lot of women tell me that Asian guys, mostly Koreans, are kind of stuck up about who they date and how they date. I mean, well, take them off the fucking pedestal, and they wouldn't be so stuck up. Treat them like they're average, run-of-the-mill men, because that's what they are. I mean, let's be honest. Just because you're Korean, it doesn't make you a god. You're cool. I mean, you're not all hot. You can't all dance, believe it or not, but just take them off the pedestal.
I'm sorry. You lie.
Some of them think that.
I mean, I agree with what you say to a certain degree, but I gotta say you a lie because I want to let y'all viewers know. Last week when we did our segment, for those of you guys who did watch us live, and because of a lot of echoing coming from Ms. Ariel, she had made a statement where she basically said, "Enter the dragon inside me." So I just felt like I should let y'all know.
That was for not just Koreans. Hello, that was
all Asian guys. Right?
That was for not saying that all Asian guys can obtain this.
Well,
he's right here, really on the live. Nobody's gonna help me on the panel. Nobody, Marquisha.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
He messaged from Korea and he wanted to know. Oh yes, Lee. I want to give a shout out to Lee in Korea, South Korea right now, that is hanging out and watching on. Like somehow he found some way to plug in his smart TV live, so he's watching all of us live, and he watched us last week. Last week he wanted to make sure that Lee, he wanted to make sure that we knew last week it was him and 12 of his friends. This week it's him and 35 of their friends.
What the heck?
Hi, Lee.
Today's
Hi,
soccer game. What Lee said was after the soccer game, in order for people to come hang out with me and have Simji and whatever, they have to watch and hang out with me and see what black women think about them. So I want to give a shout out to Lee and all his hot, sexy friends in Korea.
Hi, guys.
Hey, y'all.
And everything like that.
안녕하세요.
I'm so typical.
The next question that I actually got from one of Lee's friends. You cute, because you heard me say Bruce Leroy earlier in the segment. He's going to call himself Bruce Leroy. Bruce Leroy says that based off of, as a black woman, when it's dealing with Asian guys, do you think there is a difference when it comes to Asian men that are raised in different cultures? For instance, he has a friend that actually is Asian but grows up in Haiti. He gets mad. I'm not going to say that word. He gets mad play. I'm going to use the word play. Okay. I can honestly say I've seen a lot of, just like America. In America, you have varieties of different types of Americans. And just like I said in the video before, in Haiti, you have Haitian Asians, Haitian white people, Haitian Europeans, Haitian Middle Easterns, Haitian Jewish. Like it's like that all around the world. I even met an Asian that actually grew up, like his family uprooted in India. And he grew up in the Indian culture, even though he's Japanese. He speaks Japanese, but he grew up in the culture because, his parents moved there, job purposes and things like that. So do you guys find that there's a difference when you're dealing with a guy who's Asian compared to those that are straight from those countries and those that are here?
Definitely. There's definitely a difference because there's a place called H Mart, and a lot of the people, there's this large crowd of Koreans, and a lot of the Koreans there are straight from Korea. And then there's then I know some Koreans that were born here, and there's definitely a difference. They're definitely more outspoken and more comfortable with who they talk to. And of course, because there's no language barrier. So I think there's a difference.
I don't know. There's this Black Chinese. For any of you guys who follow reggae, when it deals with Asians, black, not Chinese, and then I'm gonna say Chinese because I know a few times he done corrected me. They are Jamaican, but they look Asian, but they speak patois. For those of you guys who may not know, they speak Jamaican, like the slang. They have everything of an Asian, but they have that sexy, androgynous Jamaican swag that just make them ooze extra sex appeal. And to me, when I find an Asian that is like from a different country, may they be from London, may they be from the Caribbean islands or whatever, and they just have that sexy, extra dominance and sex appeal, I'm gonna, just like M&M's, I'm melting in your mouth, not in your hand. What do you guys think about that question that person posted that's hanging out with Lee and all of them?
I think there is a difference.
The question when he was posting, he's asking like, is there a difference? Do you guys find a difference when it's an Asian guy that's from an Asian country compared to those that are not, that grew up in other countries with other cultures?
Yeah.
I don't think there's a difference.
That's just like if
so
they
you
were
mean to tell me
here.
you've never met a Haitian Asian or a Jamaican Asian or a Indian Asian or anything like that?
That's just like if they grew up in like America. We call them Asian American because their heritage
I'm
is
sorry.
from
I'm sorry. What did you say, Rashonda? Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What did you say, Rashonda?
There really isn't.
Why is I can't? I'm sorry, Rashonda. What was that you said?
You just muted her.
Because I'm constantly. I guess I'm unmuting her. She's unmuting herself at the same time. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna press the unmute button. Unmute yourself so you can say what you're saying. I'm sorry.
I was saying, really, there's not a difference because.
I still can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
From what I can say,
I can hear her.
You can hear her.
I can hear anything.
I can hear you.
I can hear her too.
Okay, say what you. I'm sorry, I was trying to say it.
Really, there isn't really a difference. It's just like if they were they grew up in America. Some of them are Americanized still. We still call them Asian American, right? That's just like if they're in Jamaica, Jamaican Asian, or they call them in Haiti, Haitian Asian, but we still just call them Haitian when you're in Haiti. But other people outside of Haiti call them Haitian Asian. You know what I mean? But there's still not a difference because they still entwine their culture with whatever country they're in. So there's really not a difference.
I think what people are trying to say is, anytime someone is a little bit different from the norm or whatever, like even if it wasn't an Asian dude, just somebody from another country that got some crazy accent that you're not accustomed to or something like that, it's always like that attraction factor because it's different. A lot of times, just like we're pretty normal here, like I'm normal Philadelphian girl, but if I go, I don't know, to the UK, now I have an accent. And then people might think, oh, wow, that's sexy. And I'm like, it's normal. But to them, because it's different, so anything that's different gives it that little bit of edge or whatever. So I think that's what people's trying to say. So that would be the difference, I guess.
The next question I have is based off of the video you did, Chris. Someone's obviously from your channel. Their question is, I want to make a comment about Chris's video where she says, not just because as a black woman you're attracted to Asian guys doesn't mean you want all Asian guys, or doesn't mean that you're thirsty. What do you guys think? Personally speaking, as a black woman, West Indies, Haitian, Cubano, I can honestly say when I say that first of all, I find all men sexy. I don't care what part of the earth you come from. If you look hot, I'll probably do just to got some tourbel. You know what I'm saying? You got it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Everybody know universal sexy. So if you universal sexy, snap, universal sexy. But to me, how I look at it is that I do find that when I do get into certain groups, or may I say that I date interracially, they just assume, okay, well, she's black, she like Asian guys, she's thirsty. Because I see how certain black women go crazy over Asian guys. It's like a collectible item that she'll want me too. And it's like everybody have a preference. Just because I like Asian guys don't mean just because you happen to have a DNA of an Asian, I want you. We have to have personality connection. We have to have all different types of varieties of connection. May you be Asian or whatever. Just my certain preference that fits me, works with me, is what I'm looking for. What do you guys have to say about that? Well, Chris, I'm going to start off with you because that was based off of a video you made when you was, holding your foam cup like, just because I like Asian guys don't mean I...
I mean, yeah, there's not really much more for me to say about that. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Just because I like Asian guys or whatever guy it is doesn't mean that I'm going to walk in the room and be like, ooh, Asian guy, like him. Like, you know what I mean?
There's a certain attraction.
It still has to be some substance to the person, and, some type of other connection, whatever. I'm not just going to go for somebody just because they're Asian, and the whole point of that was just, like I was saying, sometimes people take it too far, like your friends or something, you hanging out, and you're walking down the street, and any old random Asian guy or something come up, like, hey, that's you, Chris?
Yes, I hate that.
It's like, come on with this, man. Stop it. Like...
And he could be the ugliest thing.
My mom.
And they'll try to say, oh,
that's Friday.
Like,
and mind you, because, she has 5 kids, but out of the 5, 2 of them are married, got kids, happily married and everything. But it's only 3 of us left. I'm online, minding my business, and she's like, literally, because she was so excited because my aunt from Canada, and yes, Nicole, I'm going to put you on blast. She tried to fix me up with this Haitian guy. And even though I don't have anything against Haitian guys, I don't have anything against black guys, whatever, but I can say from my personal experience, every time I gave it a go, it always bit me. It's not bit me. Bit sounds like a small chunk. It took a huge chunk of my butt that I ended up not having a booty. I had a butt like a wall because it just swallowed it whole and I had nothing left. So after going through all that and having the conversation I had with my mom, and not my mom, my grandmother, I just said, you know what, I'm going to take a break and go more broad with my search and stuff like that. But as she spent 4 hours just going like, okay, every guy she was picking, I'm like, Mom, every guy she was picking, just as long as his eyes are slanted, she was like, okay, that's your type. I'm like, it's not a type, it's just, I find every guy attractive. Just as long as he's respectful, gentleman, all that good stuff, that's all that matters. But for her, when she was just clicking, I'm like, you never even sat down to get to know me enough to know my type. Which goes back to what Chris was saying. Just because you have a certain preference, or just because you have a preference, and one of them happens to be one that everyone knows doesn't mean your preference is just stuck at that. Even though I find Asian guys extremely, and I'm saying, like, look me in my eyes, extremely sexy. So how that is, but at the end of the day, I find a lot of guys sexy. I don't care if you Latino, Italian, if you're American, if you just sexy, you just sexy. That's just, you know what I'm saying? And when I say sexy, I mean as a whole. Personality, attitude, the way you carry yourself, the way you treat me is most importantly, and everything like that. So what do you guys the next question I have comes from Tiffany, and Tiffany N/A. She says, speak about your experiences that you've had with Asian guys, good and the bad.
Oh.
Markeisha, I'm going to start with you.
You want to start with me?
Yes, I want to start with you.
Okay. Well, I told you guys, I haven't had a personal relationship in terms of dating. I do have a really good friend who actually came and stayed with me this weekend, who's Asian. His name is Al Cummings from Chicago.
We need
you
kind of said it was robotic.
Can you hear me? Oh, I'm sorry. I said I haven't had a personal dating relationship, but I have a lot of Asian guy friends. So my friend Al can't use chopsticks from Chicago from the AMBW Chicago meetup. I know, watching him with different ladies, certain things that happen and don't happen or shouldn't happen based on how they respond to him. And I feel like, if a guy is a nice guy, he's a nice guy. That's my boy. So it isn't like that with us. But in terms of someone, it doesn't matter what culture they come from. If they're right, they're right. If they're not, sorry. It's not going to be. But they need to be on their game 150%. They need to just make sure that when they're approaching, that they definitely looking at you as an individual. That they're not trying to see you later. That they're not trying to portray something that's not correct. So, did I answer or not really?
No, you did. Tommy?
Tommy,
are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I can't say I've had a bad experience with an Asian guy, but I've only dated, or I only had relationships with mixed Asian guys, and both the relationships were really good. So, but I think more as an online interaction where I had a guy. I can't remember what he was. He had to be either I think he was Japanese, and he said to me he asked me, why is my skin so dark? And I'm like, I didn't know how to answer that. I mean, that's the only negative thing that was asked, but not all Japanese guys are like that, just that particular person. Maybe I don't know if he didn't understand the context of the question that I asked him, or he just didn't understand, period. So that's the only negative thing. But as far as anything good, I would say I had everything, nothing bad I have to really say about my experiences with Asian men.
I can personally say my experiences with Asian men, it only went a few ways. Either I had a situation where the Asian guy is highly attracted to a black woman, highly attracted, to black women, but because where they came from, whatever, they didn't have access to black women. And if they did have access to black women, it wasn't their preference, which means thick and juicy. More pieces than KFC type thick and juicy. So outside of that, in their mind, basically what they see and what is advertised, stereotype for black women, they would assume a lot. And as women, as you guys know, and like I said in other videos, when it comes to a guy, when he's trying to get you to, know him and know what he got, he don't care about flashing his beefcake, microwaving it, defrosting it, whatever, so you can see his beefcake exists. So I've had situations where a guy would show me his beefcake thinking that was going to entice me. And I'm looking like, okay, just because I'm chocolate, doesn't mean that. You know what I'm saying? You got to treat me like Hershey's Kisses. All of us come individually wrapped, which means different, pop in the mouth. You got to unwrap us individually to eat each of us. So it's not the same thing. Right. But then I've also find Asian guys that are, they're very innocent about it. They would love to date a black woman. They just never had the opportunity, and they're just fearful of, if I were to date her, how seriously would she actually take me? But it's that's the gamble you take regardless if we're black or not. That's the gamble you take when you're dealing with someone that is, opposite. When you're attracted to someone, you like someone, you're taking a gamble when you're trying to get to know them, whether it's black, white, whatever. That's just what it is. Ariel?
Yeah. Yes.
The question.
I've had some pretty.
I have to let you know she's excited because she's excited. Lee, she's happy because you and your 43 cents are your wife.
You know what? You know what? That's okay.
Even though
I feel like that. It's cool.
Into the dragon inside me. She's excited because the dragon is inside of her. Okay, I'm sorry. What was that you were saying?
Seriously, guys, really?
Sorry,
the whole
I love you, Ariel. No.
You know what?
I mean, say something in Korean then.
I want to thank.
Oh my god.
No, I want to personally thank all of you guys hanging out with Lee over there in Korea who happened to watch the game, but then at the same time was like, "Yo, I'm gonna click over and see what these beautiful black women have to say about us guys." And those of you guys, whether you guys have dated black women or interested or want to see what it's like, I'm very excited and happy you guys are taking time out to see how we personally feel from our mouths. So thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, not 43. Sorry, Lee. 48. Okay, 48. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So thank you, Lee, and everyone that's watching around the world. It's always great to support Pat, whatever she does. Thank you, Pat, for embarrassing me in front of thousands of people. I enjoyed that the most. Unfortunately, I do have to go, so I won't be able to answer the question.
Oh, no,
but I do have a set of questions for you. For the guys, hopefully Lee will be on the panel because I do have some questions. But I do have to go now because I have business meetings. But it was nice talking to everyone, and everyone have fun. Bye.
See you later.
Now, before we go further, a lot of the questions that we do have left that the Asian guys want to pose to black women, they're a lot more heavier, what we would consider controversial, because they're going into conversations where I have one guy asking me about how do black women deal with parents that are not open to interracial dating, parents that are not open to interracial marriage. How do you deal with your parents if they're not into you bringing an Asian man home, and all those type of different questions.
On my mind.
So before we dig in, because this is just a preview, we're just letting you guys know that there is a presence out there, and yes, there are chocolate women from all over the world that find you guys delectably sexy, like ooh, think it looks good. So before we can't give you all the juice. So the only thing we can do is you guys got to tune in again when you see me advertise a panel of all the beautiful black women getting together, talking and speaking of Asian men. So we're going to still continue with Asian men, but this is just part 1. So we're going to continue with part 2 when I'm able to advertise and let you guys know when we can be able to bring back all of these beautiful women. So for a lot of you guys, and yes, I don't need you to rewrite this again, Lee, because I noticed. Lee. Right. For a lot of you guys that are interested and wanted to continue conversation with these women and wanted to know where they come from and wanted to, go battle to battle with them, trust and believe, all of them that are available to speak on it and those that are able to rejoin for these chat groups, you'll find their name and the link that they are comfortable with sharing down below. So for instance, if you see Tommy, if you see Miss, even though she's trying to say she all black, but Chris, Asian Chris, and then we got the baby here, and then we got Markeisha, and then we definitely have Tina, and everyone else.
My information for PATU.
All you do is check the description box down below and click your name.
You have to forward it.
Yeah. So all you have to do is check the description box down below, and remember, don't forget to like, comment, share. Remember, sharing is caring. And at the end of the day, before we leave out, because this guy, I got you, Joe. Joe 79, 69. What, you was born on 69s, Joe? Like, Joe 79, 69 wants to know before we go off. Okay, Joe. Before we go off, we need to say Asian guy, maybe actor, maybe YouTuber, whatever, that you definitely adore and why. I'm going to kick it off and say my favorite Asian guy that I definitely adore is, there's a few. There's one that does this independent film, and he has his YouTube channel. I think his name is Theo. Sexy, juicy, long hair, like, I'm telling you, this I could just look at him and I feel like I'm pregnant. Just looking at him, and he ain't have to touch me. He's just so damn sexy. Like I slap my own damn mama just to give a limb, just to look at him. Is how sexy he is. Then Melodic Mike. Melodic Mike, I see them thighs when you rolling them thighs.
Melodic Mike.
Melodic.
Big head 3.
I don't even need you to plug in the mic to an amp for me to let everybody around the world know you sexy, because you know you sexy. And the most sexiest thing about him is he is such a gentleman. He has a great, sexy demeanor. That man is just asking for it. In fact, I give it to him. It's donated. Just
You know what really made me? You know what really made me like him when he said that he's saving himself until he gets married, and he really believes in that. You don't hear many guys these days say that, and that's what really made me, like him when he said that. But you don't find too many guys that will step up to the plate and say stuff like that, especially these days.
But girl, they don't hurt. I don't know. I'm gonna find that link with his thighs rolling out, looking juicy. Tommy know what I'm talking about, because she was talking about that thigh.
He just did a video this week.
But all buff, and every time, and Mike, thank you so much for every time when you tweet and write about your workout and then you post a photo. We are still, for a lot of you ladies are wondering what's going on, we are still doing the Take Your Shirt Off campaign. So all the guys that we find sexy, take your shirt off. And we're giving Mike, even though a lot of you guys are wondering, like, what happened to that Take Your Shirt Off campaign? Mike told me I need more time. I'm like, if you need to be in the
he's very gentleman. He's very, I like that about him. He's very gentleman.
Oh, girl, in this campaign, Mike gonna take it off and he gonna be greased up. So, girl, he gonna be more Thanksgiving ham. And I'm waiting. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Melodic Mike and Mr. Theo, if I got his name right, if I didn't get your name right, you know who you are. There's this comedian. I can't believe I forgot his name, and I know when he sees this video, he's like, I can't believe he talks once in a while on Facebook. He has this video. I'm sorry, what was that?
What is it, David, or the one with the really deep voice?
The one with the really deep voice.
Oh, I know which one you're talking. It's not David though. David he's cute too. Oh gosh, I'm totally at a loss right now. I'm under pressure. I know what you're talking about.
Where he's in New York and he's trying to show everybody how it's like to sleep with your window wide open. And he looks so sexy coming out of the bed. I am a stalker. I will tell you right now, when you see how many times your numbers jump, I watch your videos 12 times in a row. Of you.
Oh my God.
I don't even care to get to the point where you get to the window. I don't need the window. You need to do
post a link on our thing here so we can
post a link, because I've never missed.
In fact, you know what? There's gonna be a few links, and I'm sorry, you guys. You guys gotta click on it. But there's this link on the video. I'm gonna post a link of this guy where he's a comedian. His name starts with a B. Brian is his name. He's a comedian. And of course he has that women too.
Yes.
But in the video, he comes out of the bed, girl, eyes open and looking all sexy, succulent, walking to the window. I don't even let him get to the window. I just replay it 12 times in a row. And this man, I'm telling you right now, I don't need God blood pressure. All I need is Brian. So those are my 3 picks for right now of what I find so sexy, other than
3? Okay.
Hold on. Before I go off. Artist. I'm talking about G-Dragon. At first, I thought it was kind of weird because he's kind of feminine and he's anorexic, and I'm a thick, juicy girl, and I need a plump him when you cook him type of man that can handle all the juiciness. But this man is just everything about him. Ever since Crayon, I'm like, look, you don't need Crayola rocks when you got me. So I'm going to shut it down right now to allow all of you women to continue answering what's 69's question of y'all favorite Asian men. We gonna.
I think his name is Daniel Henney. He was in this movie I saw. I think it's called Shanghai Calling or something. He's like some businessman. No, he's like a lawyer and he goes to China or something like that. I don't know.
He is fine.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I know who he is, girl. Yes, I do.
Yeah. I like him. I like T.O.P. Isn't that his name? The rapper?
Yes.
The K-pop pop rapper guy. Yeah, I like
And
that
his
guy.
deep voice.
Very nice.
I like Godfrey Gao. He's Taiwanese.
Tommy?
Hello, hello.
Okay. Well, I guess
I'm
Tommy
here.
paused. Baby, you ready?
Okay.
Yes. Um, I. This is gonna sound so bad, but
Oh,
I
I'm sorry. You sound
actually
muted. You're muted.
don't. I'm
I
muted.
can hear her.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry.
I
Continue.
can hear
Okay, this sounds like so bad, but I actually don't have an Asian actor that I really like. I mean, I like all actors, Asian actors too, but I don't know them. I don't know their names. Like it's one specific. He's really funny. He's always in all of the comedy movies. He's always in all the comedy. I just don't know
You
his
mean like The
name.
Hangover?
No, it was one about him turning 21. I can't remember his name. He was he was just turning 21, and he's so hilarious. He played on another movie that I saw, and he was just absolutely hilarious. And I love to laugh, and he became my favorite ever since then. But I actually, if anybody can really remember his name, I would love to know because I cannot remember.
Ah. Okay, okay. I know the movie, but I can't remember his name. I'm horrible. I'm horrible with names. There's a guy. My favorite movie are the series for Tokyo Drift. That's my favorite one. But the Khan.
I'm fan myself with my hair. I'm sorry.
Khan is my favorite. Is it really?
I have to
Khan
fan
is my
myself with my hair.
favorite.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm totally Team Khan. And I like Jet Li. I'm kind of old school. I like the old stuff. But I have a thing for martial arts. So that he does it for me. And then in the everyday end of things, there's a Christian rapper. His name is MC Jin. And I really he's married and he has a beautiful kid, and I just think, but he's fine. He's gorgeous. And his personality, his beliefs, his goals, he shares very, very simplistic about things, but he's honest and he's real. And he's the first Asian to have ever won the rap off on BET. So I thought that was really cool. So that just kind of was like, that's sweet. But those are the three that I picked.
Again? If you don't mind, Markeisha, do you mind repeating his name
Sure,
again?
MC Jin, Jin.
Okay.
And he does Christian rap. He's just his music is really nice. And if I remember correctly, he relearned another language so he could start rapping in that language, and I believe it was Korean. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
And Tommy, I'm sorry, we're back to you.
Oh, I said my interest was Godfrey Gao. He's a Taiwanese actor and model, and he's really attractive. But also one thing plus about him, he's really, really tall. So, and I'm tall, so I like tall guys.
That was it? Just one guy? Girl,
Yeah,
you better pick all the flavors.
There is this Japanese guy. I forgot his name. He has like really long hair, and he's a model, and I like love him too. But Godfrey Gao is like, yeah, that's about it. Just him.
No,
We had to look him up this time.
He is so fine. Like it don't even make no difference. He was in a movie recently that came out in the U.S. I forgot the name of the movie, but he was in that movie. He played the vampire, like the really ancient old vampire. I don't remember the name of the movie.
Do you know what year it came out? Oh, you about to search to find the year?
You know who was cute? I was watching some AMBW YouTube video. I think, what's her name? Is it like Satima or something? I don't know. She's like in Japan, and she was interviewing some Japanese dude. A black dude, does he like black girls or something like that? I don't know. I have to find it.
What was his response?
Huh?
What was his response?
Yeah, he likes black girls, but I don't remember what his name was, but he was pretty cute, man. I don't know. I would have to find it.
Before we sign off, I definitely want to give a shout out to all those Asian guys we spoke about. Most definitely, for a lot of you guys who may not know, Mr. Kenny Styles, with your sexy, juicy, with your beautiful accent. And yes, I did follow you all over the world. I may not seen you perform, but I seen your videos. And I want to thank you so much for always responding to me every time I hit you up and being open to being part of the All Asian Male Panel. So I'm letting you guys know right now, all of you guys who want to know more questions about black women, it's still not too late to submit your questions. Go in the description box down below. It's patuloca05@gmail.com. And all the ladies in the panel, those that submitted their information that don't mind for you to hit them up, just click the link underneath their name and you'll definitely find them. We are not stopping because right now, as I said, when I did the series of the great things about dating an Asian, Arabian, Hispanic, African American, all those great things, we're continuing. So we had to kick it off with Asian because that was the highest value response video that I got. So we had nothing but to kick it off. But this is just part one of the video, so we're going to have part two. And all of you ladies that are like, oh, man, I want to say something too. I wanted to give my little donation. Go ahead. All you have to do is follow me and definitely check me out on the patuloca05@gmail to join the group. Remember, it's very limited because last week when we did it, I had a few people that hit me up like, yo, I couldn't get in. And I'm like, well, it's first come, first serve. So any last words to you guys? Well, from you guys to the Asian men. Because my last words is, once you go rice, you never look twice. Any of y'all?
Don't be shy.
Tommy?
Huh?
Any last words to your fellow sexy karate-kicking Asian guys?
Don't be afraid to send me a message and I'll reply right away.
And Chris, to a few of your friends that say you know you're Asian Chris, they call you Asian Chris now.
All right. I don't know. I'm single. Holla at your girl.
I second that. Me too. Me too.
In fact, we all second that motion.
Right. Okay. I don't know if she has it, but I'll put Miss Markeisha Williams at Gmail on Google Plus. Is where you can find me. Like I said, I don't mind culture. I'm all about it. I'm all about learning about people, learning about what they're about and what they're like. As far as I'm concerned, everybody should be mixing and blending and all that kind of thing because then there's less room for prejudice and ignorance. So I feel like as long as you're open, you're not looking just for something sexual, you're actually interested in some content, then I'd be happy to chat with you. You know, learn more about each other. You never know where things can be. You just got to be open. And so I'm totally open to meeting you guys, and hopefully we'll be friends. And if not, that's cool too. I love you anyway.
So for all of you Asian guys that are very highly attracted and would like to know more about black women, just please don't, like I said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and remember, sharing is caring, to allow the news to be out there because there are just more than just me. And as you guys see, this is just a small sample because a lot of you guys have joined a lot of AMBW videos, ample of black women, just like there's ample of Asian men that are into this whole thing. So, you know, as I would say, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you guys for checking all of us out and clicking on all of our links to get to know all of us personally. This is only part one of the series of, you know, the panel of beautiful black women getting together, speaking of each guy of nationality. And we're kicking off with Asians. So thank you guys so much, and all of you Asian guys that want to speak up and say, oh, I want to say this, and I want to say that, and I want to speak up on this or this question. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. If Melodic Mike is signing up and you got famous Amos on YouTube doing the same thing, and then we're not going to even talk about Mr. Sexy himself, you know, doing his stuff this, and they ain't going to call me a sexy, beautiful chocolate thing. I was like, oh, my God. Well, he didn't say thing, but, you know, just saying. You know what I'm saying? You guys do not be shy. Do not be scared. Actually, like they say back in the day when I was growing up, lift every voice and sing. So thank you guys for checking this out. You guys will catch us up when you see me advertise. All you have to do is click the link 30 minutes before the show so you can join in for all the fun. But we're going to kick it off with all the ladies, and then soon we're going to kick it off with all the guys, and then we're going to get together with the men versus the women before we move on to the next race and the next nationality. So, like we always say, once you go rice, you never look twice. Thank you, guys.